Hey everyone, it's MUA Black Swan back again with another video. Before I jump into the video, you already know by the title, we're going to be talking about foundation, shopping, and searching things you definitely need to know. So, but before we do that, can we get into this hair real quick, honey? Can we get into it? She's still really cute. I actually reviewed her a few weeks back. It's the Kaylani, I think I'm saying it right, Kaylani hair review, and I cut it into a bob. I have washed it. I've worn her out. She's super cute. The hair is still giving me the same energy it did when I first got her. The only thing that I did to the bob, I made into a bob. They gave me bundles. They gave me a 12, 16, and 18 bundles, and they gave also with a 4x4 closure that was 10 inches. I told them basically just give me whatever because I'm going to cut into a bob. And then I got the Malaysian straight hair. I just went through and I tight curled everything. So when the curls fell, it gave me this nice messy look. And then I did cut it shorter because it was like just a tad bit longer. So I cut it shorter and I took a razor and I kind of thinned her out a little more. And then I added some more layers. So it does feel dense like it did before when I first made the bob, but now it feels just a little bit lighter, a little bit. And I still love it. This is still a highly recommended hair brand that I feel like is very affordable because you can get you 3 bundles and a closure for like under $120 on some of their links. So yeah, that's like a really good deal, especially for 7A grade hair. With all the heat and washing, it is super good, and it's a still of a deal. They're very affordable, and then also they have discount codes throughout their website that you can use also that will benefit you when you're buying your hair. With all that being said, now we got that out the way for all the people on here who are gonna be wondering about what kind of hair I'm wearing. That's it. Now that we got that out the way, I'm going to jump into the nitty gritty. Okay, first things first. You want to know your surface tone. Your surface tone is different from your undertone. You know, we always talk about undertones with your warm, neutral, cool. Your surface tone are the things that appear on your face that are not permanent. Basically, if you're flushed, if you're sunburned or tanned, those are going to be your surface tones. And your surface tones, don't worry about it too much when you're looking for your foundation because those can be corrected by concealer or color corrector. So just be aware of that. That's always a helpful tip because some people, they have it and then they think that's going to be their color, and then they wind up having like 14 foundations because every time they apply the foundation, they're a whole different color because they're going by their surface tone. So think about that. Keep that in mind. Also, real quick, I am going to make the video on how to establish your undertone, but a real quick review of your undertone is, you know, your warm, cool, or neutral. If you're warm, a good way to find out if you're a warm tone is if you look good in golds and if you have green veins. That's usually going to mark that's usually the attributes of you having a warm undertone. If you're a neutral undertone, you look good in pretty much anything and you have green and blue veins. Or if you look good in gold or silver jewelry, you have a neutral skin tone. That's just like a little trick. And then if you're a cool undertone, you have blue veins. That's a mark of a person with a cool undertone, and you look good in silver jewelry. And that's like a small review. If I'm gonna do an in-depth review because women of color, you can be a warm undertone and have yellow in your undertone, or like you're olive but you're neutral. You know, like it's like varies. It like breaks down into a lot. So you just can't say somebody is a warm because when they go, the foundation has like an orange or red undertone and it's too orange or red for them, even though they're a warm undertone. But like I said, I'm gonna go in depth in another video because I don't want to put it all in one video. It's going to be a long video. How much coverage do you want? So to break that down, you have light, medium, and full coverage makeup. So if you want light coverage, that is basically like putting lotion on your face. You're just basically just blurring out a few things, but I could still see your actual skin through the makeup. That is a light coverage. CoverGirl makeup Rihanna's makeup. It is light. That is very, very light. And also, usually people who have very, very nice, clear skin tend to go towards light coverage. Or people who do not wear makeup, they tend to go to very, very light coverage makeup because they don't have much to cover. They just want to look a little polished. Medium coverage foundation is like you have a few things, like very light acne scars, and you just want tiny things covered, okay? And or like a little bit of pigmentation. Like me, I have a little bit of pigmentation around my mouth. It's like you have a few things that wouldn't be covered, but I can still see a little bit of your skin through the foundation. If you go into a makeup store and you ask for full coverage, that means that none of your skin is going to be peeking through your foundation. It's going to be a complete layer of foundation covering up every speck of color, discoloration, acne scars, under eye bags, scratches, whatever on your face. It's completely covering. You have a whole layer of makeup on your face. So if you prefer full coverage makeup, your makeup better match your foundation, better match you precisely. Know how much coverage that you want. Or if you think you know, at least try out the one that you think you want to try out first before you take it home. Because if you're a light coverage girl and then you get a product that's full coverage, you're going to be unhappy, or vice versa. You're going to be upset. Fourth thing, yeah, we're on number 4 now. The fourth thing you want to think about when you're going in is you want to figure out what finish you prefer. Do you prefer matte finish or dewy finish in your foundation? So I know this seems like a lot of stuff, but if you make a list of your stuff and then you go in, it makes the makeup shopping productive and faster. And then it also helps out your consultant, your beauty consultant. If you're going into Sephora or Ulta, know what type you like. Matte is like think of like a porcelain doll. You know, they have no glare. It's just matte, you know. And then dewy, you know, you look like a baby, okay? Porcelain doll, baby skin. Think of those two comparisons. I'm just saying that for those who are like absolutely they have no idea about makeup at all. Because some people are going to be like, well, why are you dumbing it down? Well, some people are on here, they're not makeup wearers. Okay? Fifth point. When you're actually going out to get your makeup, go into the store with no foundation on, or be okay and ready to take off the foundation you already have on. If you already have on foundation and you're trying on makeup, that is not an accurate comparison. That's not going to be an accurate match because you already have product on your face. I mean, like that basically is self-explanatory. So go in with a clean face. Then also a little tip, you don't have to do it, but I find that it's helpful. Bring the applicator that you use at home that you're most comfortable with. So if you use a beauty blender to put on your makeup, bring your little beauty blender. If you use a brush, bring your brush, tuck it in your purse. They're not going to kick you out if you reach in and you're taking out your own personal foundation brush and you're just like, let me just see real quick because I want to see. Because some foundation, it applies differently depending on the applicator. Like some foundation, they prefer you use a kabuki brush or a stippling brush. And then some, they don't specify at all, but you notice it goes on better with a beauty blender. When you're testing on the makeup, when you actually found what brand and shade you want to try out, when you're swiping it on, put a generous amount or do a long stripe test. That's what I do. I do one of the two. I do a 2-finger swipe test down here with like 2 or 3 shades or however many shades I want to demo. And if it's just one shade, I will actually cover from here to here. Like I'll actually take my beauty blender and then pat it all the way down. Now, when you're testing it out and you're in the store, let it sit. Go ahead, browse through the brushes. Girl, look at their eyelashes, do all that. Let it sit for a few minutes because more than likely it will oxidize. And a lot of times, a lot of us, we put the makeup on and we take it back off. We put the makeup on, we look at it, yes, no, and we take it off. Sometimes you got to give it a chance to oxidize so you'll know so you'll have a better accurate reading of the shade. Because I know when I put on that Fenty, it oxidizes extremely bad on me. I don't know about any of y'all, but that Fenty foundation, when I put it on, it looks like it doesn't match at all, honey. And then it oxidizes, then it gets a little closer to my shade. But she doesn't have my shade. But the shade that I do try, that I'm the closest to, when I put it on, it comes off completely different than 5 minutes later. So keep that in mind. Test it, let it sit, then judge it. When you're making your purchase, ask them for a tester. Ask them for a tester of a shade right underneath it, a shade lighter, and a shade darker. Do that because sometimes your surface tone will change. For example, if I don't get no sun all Monday long, 24/7, I'm in the house. I never leave the house once. And then let's say Tuesday morning I do my makeup. Then that afternoon around 2, my husband wants to go to the park. And then we go to the park and I get more sun. That night, my makeup is going to change because I darken very easily. My surface tone will have changed drastically. So Wednesday, my makeup will have to be applied differently than I did it on Monday. I'm going to be a completely different tone. So what you're going to do is you already have your testers. So if your surface tone changes and you need to make adjustments, it's good to experiment with the shades lighter and darker so you can mix them. Just in case your results actually might come out better than you actually using concealer or color corrector. You just mix the two and then you might actually be able to get a magnificent foundation shade. And then after you get it, make sure you keep the receipt safe because you can return your makeup if it doesn't work out. Look at these little hairs flying. You can return your makeup. Okay, so don't panic if it doesn't match or whatever like that. Keep it in the original packaging and keep the receipt just in case it doesn't work out or you later on find out that it's really irritating your skin really bad. So do that. Make sure you keep a receipt until you are completely confident in your new foundation. Also, if it's drugstore foundation, they don't let you try it out in the store. That's fine. Don't panic. CVS, Walgreens, they let you take it back. Just keep the receipt. I think you have up to 30 days to make your return. So you can bust it open, try it out, and then take it back or get your money back or get a different shade. 9th and final tip. When you have your foundation at home and you really feeling it, you feeling yourself, wait a minute, go to your car and look in your visor. See if you can clock it. See if you can clock if it's too dark or too light because sometimes the lighting in your house is deceiving. Keep that in mind and also take a picture with your phone using the back camera. Not your front facing camera, your back camera, and do another one with the flash. And then if your makeup looks on point, you can't see a variation, then you have the perfect foundation. If you see a variation, if it's too light, you might want to go just a shade dark or mix it with your tester and see if you can get a better foundation match. Or if it's too dark, mix it with the lighter one and then see if you have your foundation match. See how those other testers come in handy because you just never know, girl, because you don't want to be out and then somebody has a really good naked eye and they clock you and they're like, girl, she was looking casket ready. Also, my final thing to say for this foundation shopping video. If you cannot find your foundation, do not panic. Do not panic, do not get frustrated. Because at the end of the day, if you are getting in the realm of your skin tone, if it doesn't look too dark or too light, you're probably can still make it work because you're not just walking around with just your foundation on your face. You're still going to put setting powder on it because that's going to make the foundation change a little bit too. You're still putting bronzer, you're still putting highlight, you're still putting blush. So you're still doing other things on top of the foundation to correct the foundation. Because I know if I get a foundation that's too dark and I'm too lazy to take it back, or if it's too last minute, I'll go ahead and balance it out with my concealer highlight. So just bear that in mind when you are sitting down. You might be able to go to your room right now and then be able to get a good foundation, or you're already doing that right now where you're able to balance out your foundation with the other products you're adding on, with the additional products that you add onto your face. That's why sometimes in my video, when I first started and I just had the foundation on my face, I look a little crazy. But then when I add the setting powder, it's like, oh, okay, girl, you came through. Trust your own process, and if you can't trust your naked eye, then take a picture with your phone. So that's gonna be it. Look at this curl fell. This curl fell, girl. I got like I don't think I curled this piece, honey. Oh. So anyway, that's gonna be it. Those are my 9 tips to a productive trip to the makeup store when you're looking for your foundation. I hope that it helped in some way, and I will see y'all in my next video.